Jackey. His name hits your chest like a heartbeat exploding as the movie begins, and you feel the city around you roaring alive with neon lights, skyscrapers kissing the night sky, and a world built on danger, love, ambition, and secret battles that you are now part of without warning, and that alone tells you this will not be just another film. This will be an experience that grabs your pulse and refuses to let go, because the director wastes no time letting you breathe or relax. No. This story charges forward like destiny itself, and you lean in hungry for every second, because you know when a movie starts with a name, instead of a scene, that name matters, and Jackey matters more than you can imagine. And then suddenly a towering glass building cuts across the screen like a blade of power, and we meet Snow, the CEO, mommy, the queen of business, the woman whose reputation storms ahead of her heels everywhere she walks. Her presence demands respect. She does not apologize for power. She built her empire from nothing, and you see it in her eyes. Eyes that have seen promises broken, money stolen, trust shattered, and love destroyed. Because Snow believes love is weakness, and she refuses to be weak ever again. She built a world where only strength survives, and she sits at the top, gliding through halls where employees fear her brilliance and envy her dominance. But what they do not see is the heart she keeps locked deep behind armor, polished, smooth by pain. And what they definitely do not see is Molly the tiny light. Snow hides away from the world her daughter with the sweetest giggle, the brightest smile, and a love so pure it could melt steel. But Snow guards Molly fiercely, because if the world finds her weakness, they will attack, and Snow will not allow her daughter to feel 1 ounce of the heartbreak she has endured. And just when you think this is a story about a powerful woman protecting her world, the frame shifts and Jackey enters the screen with a leap of fire and grace, his kung fu skills so sharp, so breathtaking. You feel the wind of his kicks even as you sit safe behind a screen. He is everything Snow is not: wild, warm, funny, and willing to bleed for the ones he cares about. His laughter could break chains, his fists could break bones, but his heart, oh, his heart is where the movie feeds its soul, because every beat of it belongs to Snow, even before she knows it. And when he meets Molly, the bond forms instantly like destiny snapping into place. Molly calls him dad without thinking, and the shock on Jackey's face cracks open a layer of his past, one that hints at family. He lost a family he failed to protect, and now maybe, just maybe, he has a chance to protect one again. And then there is Quinn, the man wrapped in expensive suits and cold ambition, pretending to be Snow's ally, business partner, protector. But we see the truth. The camera lingers just long enough to expose the knife behind his smile. He wants Snow, he wants her company, and he wants to rewrite the city with himself as king and Snow, as a trophy beside him, without love, without choice, just control. Quinn looks at Snow like she is a prize he deserves, and that alone tells you everything. He is not a villain you love to hate. He is a villain you fear, because his mind is as sharp as his greed, and he will destroy anyone who blocks his climb to power, including Jackey, including Molly, including you too, if you stand too close to them. And suddenly the attack hits. Alarms scream, windows shatter, masked enemies burst into Snow's company headquarters, and you can feel her panic as she grabs Molly into her arms, shielding the only thing she cannot replace. And Jackey fights like a storm, fists flying, bones cracking every move. A promise: I will protect you. And he does, yet Snow still pushes him away afterward, fear twisting into anger, because accepting help means admitting vulnerability. And she refuses to let her heart fall into anyone's hands, especially a man who fights for love instead of power. Jackey leaves because she orders him to, but you can see it burns inside him every step away from her. And Molly feels like a wound tearing wider and wider. Yet he goes not because he wants to, but because he believes protecting them from the shadows is safer than staying where her walls will crush him. His nights become war, his body becomes battlefield, his mission becomes survival, not for him, but for them. And every bruise he collects whispers their names: Snow, Molly. Snow, Molly, over and over, until he is the echo of his devotion. And then the movie slams into the gala scene, a swirl of elegance, confetti chandeliers, diamonds flashing across gowns and cameras. capturing Snow in a dress that turns the world breathless. She looks untouchable, yet we can feel the loneliness under the shimmer, and Quinn sees it too. Thinking now is his moment, he pulls out a ring like a throne offering power security, a kingdom with her at his side, but before Snow can answer, before she can even inhale, a masked assassin strikes, hurling chaos across perfection, and the crowd screams. But you do not, because your heart knows who will save her. And he does. Jackey crashes down from above, like a phoenix with fists of justice soaring into the fight, with heroic rage, every move saying, I came back for you. His arrival transforms the scene from horror to hope. Snow gasps his name and everything she buried. Behind, steel floods across her face. Love, longing, terror, relief. She still needs him more than she will ever admit. And the assassin falls, mask ripping away, and there it is, the truth, Quinn, the traitor. Quinn, the jealous shadow. Quinn, the devil hidden in a borrowed halo, and Snow steps back from him like his touch burns, which it does because now she sees him fully and she knows she trusted a snake. The police arrive late, the audience cheers for Jackey, and Molly tackles him with joy. Snow trembles close, but her pride tries to hold back her truth. Yet the movie forces her to face what we already know. Love is stronger than fear. Love is stronger than power. Love is stronger than any boardroom. Snow walks toward Jackey, tears spilling like secrets escaping, and she whispers, thank you, not as a CEO, not as a boss, not as an empress, but as a woman who almost lost the man who holds her heart together. And Jackey says he only left to keep danger away because loving her is not weakness. Loving her is courage. Loving her is why he fights. And that is when Snow breaks fully, the armor shatters, and she lets him stay. She lets him protect her. She lets him love her, even though her fear still trembles. We see Quinn escape into darkness, swearing that this story is not done. He will return for revenge, the kind that bleeds, the kind that ruins. But for now, the family breathes Snow, Jackey, and Molly together, rebuilding not just safety, but trust. And this is where the movie deepens, turning battles of fists into battles of hearts. Snow tries to learn trust, Jackey tries to learn restraint. Molly teaches them both how to laugh again, and slowly they transform into the family they were always meant to be, even if Snow still struggles with the idea that loving someone means possibly losing them again. But Jackey remains patient, steady, a warrior, not just in body, but in loyalty and respect. The Shadow Syndicate rises, led by Quinn, who now thirsts for vengeance more than power. He wants Snow to hurt. He wants Jackey to break. He wants Molly to cry. But the movie shows us that villains obsessed with pain always fall hardest because love does what hate cannot predict. Love blindsides evil with strength it cannot measure. And Snow decides she will no longer hide behind business contracts. She will fight for the ones she loves beside Jackey, not behind him. And that resolution changes everything you watch. Snow take off her CEO armor and step into a new kind of power. The power of vulnerability, the power of hope, the power of belief. And when she looks at Jackey now, it is not fear in her eyes, but faith. She stands next to him, declaring war on the enemy who once pretended to care. Explosions, roar, battles flood the tower again. Jackey takes down 10 enemies with grace and grit. Snow uses her mind, turning technology into weapons. Molly hides, but not in fear. She hides with strategy because she learned from the best. And Quinn charges in feral with rage, trying to drag Snow back to the darkness. She overcame, she steps forward fearless and says, love is the strongest move. And in that moment, she becomes more than CEO, more than mommy, more than survivor. She becomes hero. Jackey catches a blade meant for her, proving love is sacrifice. And Snow screams his name, making the air shake with emotion, and she defeats Quinn. Not with violence, but with intellect, leaving him powerless, as authorities drag him away, screaming promises of revenge that no longer shake her, because she knows now she is not alone. And the audience exhales, relief floods the screen. Romance rises like dawn. Snow confesses her love through tears, through trembling truth. And Jackey smiles through his wounds, whispering that he has always loved her, even when she tried to deny it. Molly hugs them, binding their hearts into one unbreakable force, and peace returns. But the movie refuses to end there because love deserves celebration, not just survival. Jackey recovers, Snow rebuilds her company, not with greed, but with grace, helping families, mothers, fighters, and forgotten souls. Jackey opens a dojo teaching strength through love, telling kids that fists mean nothing if the heart behind them is empty. Molly flourishes like sunshine, dancing across every scene, and Snow prepares a surprise more powerful than any plot twist. She decorates a rooftop with roses and stars, and brings Jackey there under the open sky, where the city lights sparkle like destiny itself. She takes his hands, breath shaking, and asks him to stay forever. He whispers always and kisses her with every emotion they never said, and fireworks explode, not for the city, not for a holiday, but for this. Subscribe to this channel now for next part.